All right, so we're downstairs at my bench again, doing some from the bench work. We're gonna go ahead and do a CVO install on the RSX. So I have the RSX here. We'll show you how to install the brand new CVO kits for the RSX. Inside the box here, you're gonna get your frame. And then inside your frame at the top, it's not attached, is just your replacement valve assembly and QEV assembly here. So we'll move these over to here. We'll move our gun over. And we'll get to it. It's pretty straightforward. You want to remove the ASA on-off knob because we're going to use that in the new one. So let's get our grips off. Now we need to pull the grips off because we need to disconnect the solenoid wires and the eye wires so that when we pull the frame off, we're done. And since I already had this one installed before, I left them unplugged so that we're easy to pull apart there. Now we're going to remove our frame screws. And now we are gently going to pull these two apart. You never want to pull hard because these can get caught inside here and you can rip them apart. So when it comes time to reinstall them, if you ever want to go back to the electronic frame, you don't want to have broken parts inside there. So that's off now. We're done with that. We don't need it anymore. We can put this up here. Our 3 grip screws, we would put them back in there so we don't get lost. Now for the next part, we do need to pull the eye covers off. Underneath the eye covers is where the eye is. So we want to pull the eye cover off so we can get the eye out of the gun. We're going to take that off and then we're going to use a pick and we're going to lift our eye out of its holding spot. So both sides, pull the eye up, be gentle with it. Don't flex it, smash it, all those things. We're just going to get it out of its spot. And then there are 2 screws we need to remove. There's a little one down in here. This holds the front together. We're going to need this though when we go put the new valve assembly in there. And then the back side where the solenoid attachment is, you unscrew that and pull this out as well. Now from here we can pull this whole assembly out, but our eye wires are still going to be running through. So we need to gently coax our eye covers out, or our eyes out, and then there we go. You can leave the whole assembly like that. You do not need to separate the eyes from the solenoid, anything like that. So here we go. We're going to install our new assembly. We're going to put a little bit of grease on there, on that bottom O-ring right there, a little bit on this one as well. Then we're going to flip it over and we're going to put it in. Now the smaller screw that we pulled out originally, that's going to go back in the front. Right there. You need to use this screw from the original one. They do not give you this screw. So we're going to put that one in here. We're going to make sure that that is snugged up down there. Not over tight, just enough tight. Same with that one. All right. Now putting this on, you're going to want to put a little bit of grease inside here so that this O-ring seals properly when we put it in. So just a little bit of grease in there. And then we can go ahead and just push this up on there. Reinstall our rear frame screw again. Reinstall our front frame screw. And then make sure that it is tight. But don't overdo it. All right, so that's our setup right there. Now we take our ASA on off. I'm going to screw that in. And the last thing you want to look at, besides your eye covers, I guess not the last thing, second to the last thing is putting our eye covers back on. But inside the frame is a spring tension setting. So right now, it's not terribly stiff on there, but we can adjust that. And I love to just disconnect the spring altogether. That is okay to do if you are running a loader that is fast enough, like a rotor, anything that is a force feeding loader, not a gravity style loader, and you can disconnect the spring. So you can see the spring's coming down here and it's hooked. There's all different settings that are along here. I personally unhook it from the 4th setting and I just leave it right there. So there's the least amount of return. So the valve inside here is providing all the return force that we need to reset the valve. But you can go through and you can set it any way you want. You want a little bit of return force, put it on the 1st one. You want a lot, put it back on the 4th one. You want to make it super hard to pull, then you'll, you know, almost like you were shooting an old like Titman or something like that, lock it down at the bottom. I don't think you'll ever need to go that far. And personally, I would say put it there because it's butter smooth when it's like that. Then we just put that on. Put our grip screws back on. And then take our tank and gas her up. Make sure there's no leaks. Let's make sure. Sounds good. Feels good, shoots good. Here we go, CVO install on an RSX. They're becoming available. I know the first couple ones we got in went out for pre-order already, but we're getting more. Order it now, get it at ansgear.com.